Ladies and gentlemen, when we think about aging, most of us imagine the changes we can see in the mirror. We notice the silver in our hair, the lines around our eyes, and the slower pace at which we move compared to when we were younger. But beneath the surface, something much more important is happening, something invisible to the eye, but deeply tied to the quality and length of our lives. This hidden change is the gradual and sometimes dramatic loss of muscle mass. After the age of 65, the body doesn't just age, it accelerates the breakdown of muscle at a rate that can steal independence, sap strength, and increase vulnerability to illness. This condition has a name, sarcopenia. And while it might sound like a medical term reserved for textbooks, it is a reality faced by millions of people every day without even realizing it. Muscle is not just about appearance or physical performance. It is the foundation for everything we do. It is what allows you to climb stairs, rise from a chair, carry groceries, and even breathe deeply. It stabilizes your joints, protects your bones, and acts as a biological reserve that can save your life during illness or injury. Strong muscles mean fewer falls, faster recovery, and the ability to remain independent longer. Weak muscles, on the other hand, mean frailty, a greater chance of fractures, slower healing, and in many cases, a slide toward dependence on others. The truth is, when you lose muscle, you lose more than strength, you lose resilience. The science of aging reveals that by the time someone reaches their mid-60s, they may already have lost up to 20% or more of their muscle mass compared to when they were younger. By the age of 80, that number can double. This is not simply about numbers on a chart. It is about whether you can continue walking unassisted, whether you can maintain balance on uneven ground, whether you can catch yourself if you trip. Sarcopenia is a silent thief, slowly eroding the very tissue that holds you up and keeps you moving. And the worst part is many people dismiss the early signs as just getting older. They accept the fatigue, the stiffness, and the reduced strength as normal, when in fact these are warning signals that the body is calling out for support. But there is good news, and it comes from an area of research that connects food, nutrients, and daily rituals to the health of our muscles. It turns out that muscle loss is not inevitable. It can be slowed, stopped, and in many cases, reversed. The key lies in understanding how our muscles respond to signals. Muscles are dynamic tissue. They are constantly breaking down and rebuilding, a process known as protein turnover. When we are young, this process is balanced. But as we age, the rebuilding slows while the breakdown speeds up. The result is gradual shrinkage. What we want to do is tip the balance back in favor of building so that muscles are preserved and even renewed. This is where the role of nutrients comes in. Muscles respond to exercise, yes, but they also respond to bioactive compounds found in food and drink. These compounds act like switches, turning on pathways in our body that tell muscle cells to grow stronger, to repair themselves, and to resist damage. Imagine being able to send that signal every morning, right at the start of your day, in the simplest way possible. Imagine that your first sip of coffee could do more than wake you up. It could wake up your muscles as well. Coffee is one of the most widely consumed beverages in the world, and for good reason. It gives us energy, sharpens focus, and provides comfort in its familiar aroma and warmth. But coffee also contains natural polyphenols, antioxidants that reduce inflammation and help protect tissues from damage. What is remarkable is that when combined with certain nutrients, coffee transforms from a morning ritual into a therapeutic tool. Instead of just fueling your mind, it fuels your muscles. Think about the power of this. Every morning, millions of people drink coffee without realizing that it can be harnessed to fight the very process that leads to weakness and frailty. It's not about drastic changes or complicated routines. It's about leveraging something you already enjoy, something that is part of your life, and elevating it into a strategy for longevity. By adding one key ingredient to coffee, you can turn it into a muscle-preserving elixir that helps fight sarcopenia before it takes hold. Consider what this means for someone at 65, 70, or 80. Instead of resigning themselves to the slow decline that society tells us is inevitable, they have the opportunity to take charge of their biology. With each cup, they are supporting their muscle fibers, energizing their mitochondria, and building a stronger foundation for daily life. And the beauty of this is that it doesn't require expensive supplements or hours in the gym. It requires knowledge, intention, and the willingness to make a small, consistent choice every morning. This is not simply about muscle. It is about protecting your independence. It is about being able to reach for something on a shelf without losing balance. It is about carrying a grandchild, taking a walk with a friend, or traveling without fear of being too weak to keep up. It is about preventing the chain reaction that begins with muscle loss, continues with falls, leads to fractures, and too often results in hospitalization or long-term care. Protecting muscle is protecting life itself. The science makes it clear. When you intervene early, when you give your muscles the support they need, you can rewrite the story of aging. Instead of decline, you create resilience. Instead of frailty, you create vitality. And it can all begin with something as simple and familiar as a cup of coffee. When you add the right ingredient, you are not just drinking a beverage, you are activating a defense system inside your body. You are sending a message that says, stay strong, resist breakdown, hold on to life. So what is this addition that transforms an ordinary cup of coffee into a powerful defense against sarcopenia? It is protein in its most usable form, specifically collagen peptides. Now, before we dive into why this matters, let's take a step back and understand what protein does in the body. Protein is the building block of every cell, every tissue, every enzyme that drives your body's functions. Without it, the body quite literally begins to unravel. When you are young, your body efficiently breaks down the protein you eat and channels it into muscle repair and growth. But as the years pass, that efficiency fades. By the time you are in your mid-60s or older, your body requires more protein to get the same effect it once achieved effortlessly. This phenomenon is called anabolic resistance. It means that the same chicken breast or the same glass of milk that built strong muscles in your youth now delivers far less benefit. This is one of the key reasons muscle loss accelerates with age, even among people who think they are eating well. Collagen peptides provide a solution to this problem. Collagen is not a rare or exotic substance. It is the most abundant protein in your body. It is found in your muscles, bones, tendons, ligaments, even your skin. As we age, natural collagen production plummets. This is why skin loses elasticity, joints ache, and muscles begin to feel less responsive. By supplementing with collagen peptides, you are not just topping off a nutrient, you are replenishing a foundational material your body desperately needs but can no longer make in sufficient amounts. And what makes peptides unique is that they are hydrolyzed, which means they are broken down into smaller pieces that are easy to digest and absorb. This bypass has the inefficiency problem of aging digestion and delivers protein directly where it's needed most, into your muscle fibers. Now imagine combining collagen peptides with coffee. Coffee itself has compounds like chlorogenic acids and natural antioxidants that fight oxidative stress and inflammation. These are two major culprits behind muscle breakdown. Inflammation quietly eats away at muscle tissue, while oxidative stress damages the mitochondria, the tiny energy-producing organelles that keep your muscles alive and active. Coffee helps fight both of these processes, but when you add collagen peptides, something even more remarkable happens. The amino acids in collagen, like glycine and proline, work synergistically with coffee's bioactive compounds to boost muscle cell activity. In fact, research shows that collagen supplementation not only improves muscle mass, but also enhances tendon strength, which means stronger joints to support those muscles. You are not just feeding muscle, you are fortifying the entire musculoskeletal system. Think of mitochondria for a moment. These microscopic structures inside your muscle cells are often called the power plants of the body. Their job is to take nutrients and convert them into usable energy. The healthier and more abundant your mitochondria are, the stronger and more resilient your muscles will be. As you age, mitochondrial function declines, leading to fatigue, weakness, and slower recovery. But studies reveal that collagen peptides can stimulate mitochondrial activity, and when combined with coffee, which naturally stimulates cellular energy pathways, the effect is amplified. You are essentially waking up your muscles at the cellular level. Each sip of coffee with collagen is like flipping a switch that tells your body to energize, repair, and resist the breakdown that leads to sarcopenia. This isn't just theory. Clinical studies back it up. In trials with older adults, supplementing with collagen peptides led to measurable gains in muscle strength, increased fat-free mass, and even improvement in walking speed, one of the most reliable indicators of healthy aging. Walking speed is so important that scientists sometimes refer to it as the sixth vital sign. A faster gait is strongly linked to longer life expectancy, and collagen has been shown to improve it. Pairing this with the natural benefits of coffee creates a daily habit that doesn't just preserve strength, it actively improves function. Consider how simple this is compared to other interventions. Building muscle through exercise is important, yes, but not everyone at 65 or 75 can go to the gym and lift weights regularly. Chronic pain, limited mobility, or existing health conditions often get in the way, but coffee is already part of the daily rhythm for so many people. By stirring collagen peptides into your morning cup, you are turning something you already do into a therapeutic practice. There are no new routines to memorize, no pills to swallow at inconvenient times, just one seamless upgrade to an existing ritual. This approach also solves another problem: protein timing. Many older adults consume most of their protein at lunch or dinner, leaving breakfast relatively light. But research shows that distributing protein intake evenly throughout the day is more effective for muscle health than loading it all into one meal. By starting your day with protein, you give your muscles the signal they need first thing in the morning to begin repairing and building. Adding collagen to coffee makes breakfast not just an energy boost, but a protein delivery system that supports your muscles all day long. And here's something most people don't realize: muscle is not just passive tissue, it is an active organ that communicates with the rest of the body. When you feed and strengthen muscle, it releases molecules called myokines, which travel through your bloodstream and positively influence other organs, your brain, your heart, even your immune system. This means that when you preserve muscle, you're not just helping yourself move better, you are improving cognitive clarity, protecting cardiovascular health, and supporting your body's ability to fight off disease. So that scoop of collagen in your coffee is not just protecting your legs or arms, it is sending ripples of health benefits across your entire body. Now, why does this matter so profoundly after the age of 65? The answer lies in how our bodies change with time, not just on the outside, but at the deepest biological level. One of the most overlooked realities of aging is that the body becomes less efficient at processing and utilizing protein. This is a phenomenon scientists call anabolic resistance. It means that even if you are eating the same meals you always have, chicken, fish, beans, or eggs, your body is no longer translating that intake into muscle strength in the way it once did. The machinery that builds muscle from protein becomes sluggish, and as a result, even a balanced diet can fall short of keeping your muscles intact. This is why sarcopenia often takes people by surprise. They believe they are nourishing themselves properly, but in truth, their muscles are starving quietly for the right kind of fuel in the right form. When you stir collagen peptides into your coffee, you bypass much of that inefficiency. Collagen is hydrolyzed into smaller peptides, which the body can absorb more readily. These peptides deliver amino acids directly into your bloodstream, where they become available for muscle repair almost immediately. By starting your day this way, you are sending your muscles an unmistakable signal. Here is fuel, here are the raw materials you need, here is the invitation to hold on and grow stronger. Think of it like priming a pump. Your muscles wake up ready to use what you give them, and collagen makes sure what you provide is not wasted. Coffee itself plays an equally fascinating role. For decades, coffee was seen only as a stimulant, a way to sharpen the mind and give an energy boost. But in recent years, research has revealed that coffee's bioactive compounds, chlorogenic acids, polyphenols, and even caffeine itself, have far deeper effects on health. When it comes to muscle, these compounds reduce chronic inflammation, one of the stealthiest drivers of sarcopenia. Inflammation breaks down muscle tissue slowly and relentlessly, creating an environment where rebuilding becomes almost impossible. By tamping down inflammation, coffee creates conditions that favor muscle preservation. It doesn't stop there. Coffee's natural antioxidants also protect mitochondria, the tiny structures inside muscle fibers that generate energy. Healthy mitochondria are essential for mobility, endurance, and overall vitality. When they falter, weakness and fatigue take over. By supporting mitochondria, coffee helps keep muscles firing on all cylinders. The beauty of combining collagen with coffee is that their benefits are not just additive, they are synergistic. Coffee reduces the obstacles that interfere with muscle growth, while collagen supplies the bricks and mortar needed for repair and strength. Together, they create a powerful environment for muscle preservation. It's like clearing a construction site of debris and immediately delivering the building materials. Your muscles can then do what they are designed to do: regenerate and thrive, even in the later decades of life. Consider what happens when this ritual is practiced daily. Over weeks and months, the cumulative effect is profound. Muscles that would have continued to shrink and weaken instead hold their ground or even regain strength. Walking becomes easier, balance becomes steadier, and everyday tasks no longer feel like insurmountable challenges. Something as simple as climbing stairs or rising from a chair can shift from a struggle back to second nature. This has far-reaching implications. Muscle is not just for movement. It is also a reservoir of glucose control, metabolic balance, and immune support. With stronger muscles, blood sugar is regulated more effectively, reducing the risk of diabetes. Hormonal signals remain in better balance, supporting mood and cognitive clarity. Even the immune system benefits, as muscle tissue stores amino acids that are mobilized during illness or injury to help the body heal. Think about how this influences independence. One of the greatest fears for people as they age is losing the ability to care for themselves, to rely instead on others for even the simplest activities. The loss of muscle is often at the root of this decline. A fall that leads to a fracture, a period of immobility after surgery, or even a bout of illness can strip away strength so quickly that recovery feels impossible. But when you have a reserve of muscle built and maintained through daily habits like this, you become far more resilient. You can withstand illness, recover faster, and maintain the ability to move on your own terms. Independence is preserved not by luck, but by consistent, intentional choices that support muscle health every single day. The role of protein timing cannot be overstated. Many older adults consume the majority of their protein in one meal, often dinner, leaving breakfast and sometimes lunch relatively protein poor. But research shows that muscles respond best when protein intake is spread evenly throughout the day. This ensures a steady flow of amino acids that keeps the rebuilding process active. By adding collagen to coffee, you are anchoring your morning with a dose of protein that immediately sets the stage for muscle preservation. It changes breakfast from a carbohydrate-heavy, muscle-starving start into a strategic investment in your strength. This simple shift carries benefits that ripple throughout the entire day. The muscle benefits of coffee go beyond its antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds. Caffeine itself has been shown to enhance neuromuscular performance. It improves the connection between the brain and the muscles, sharpening coordination and boosting reaction time. For older adults, this is not just about athletic performance. It's about balance, reflexes, and the ability to prevent falls. Falls are one of the most devastating consequences of sarcopenia, often leading to hospitalization and loss of independence. By sharpening neuromuscular control, coffee provides an added layer of protection. When you combine this with collagen's ability to strengthen not just muscle, but also tendons and connective tissue, you are creating a defense system for your entire body. What makes this approach so remarkable is its accessibility. There are many interventions for muscle loss, from specialized exercise regimens to medical therapies, but few are as simple and universally appealing as enhancing a morning cup of coffee. Coffee is already a beloved habit, a ritual that brings comfort and energy. Collagen peptides dissolve easily, have no overpowering taste, and blend seamlessly into the drink. This is not about overhauling your lifestyle or adopting a complicated plan. It is about refining a habit you already enjoy so that it serves your long-term health in the most powerful way possible. It is also worth reflecting on how this habit influences mindset. Starting your day with an act of nourishment that protects your muscles sets a tone of empowerment. It reminds you that aging is not just something that happens to you, it is something you can influence through daily choices. This sense of control is itself a powerful force. People who feel empowered in their health are more likely to stay active, eat well, and continue seeking ways to support their longevity. A simple cup of coffee with collagen becomes more than just a drink. It becomes a daily affirmation of strength, resilience, and commitment to live ing fully. Think about what all of this means when you extend it beyond just the science and bring it into everyday life. For someone in their 60s, 70s, or even 80s, every decision around food, movement, and daily habits carries greater weight than it did decades earlier. The body is less forgiving of neglect, but at the same time, it is still astonishingly responsive to care. When you choose to add collagen peptides to your morning coffee, you are not just making a dietary tweak, you are making a profound declaration to your body that you intend to remain strong, vibrant, and independent. It may seem small, but small actions done with consistency accumulate into extraordinary outcomes. The same way erosion over time can carve valleys and shape mountains, daily choices carve the trajectory of your health. Imagine the confidence of waking up each morning knowing that before the day even begins, you've taken a meaningful step to protect yourself from decline. Too often, aging is associated with a loss of control. People begin to feel like they are at the mercy of time, of genetics, of forces too big to resist. But this ritual is proof that control remains firmly in your hands. You can direct your biology. You can influence the signals your muscles receive. You can decide to preserve strength rather than watch it slip away. That single scoop of collagen stirred into coffee represents more than protein. It represents empowerment, a refusal to let age define your ability to live fully. Consider the ripple effect of protecting your muscles. Stronger muscles mean stronger bones because muscles tug on bones and stimulate them to remain dense. Stronger muscles mean better balance, fewer falls, and fewer hospitalizations. Stronger muscles mean you are able to participate in life, walking with friends, gardening, traveling, even simply carrying groceries without fear. These are not luxuries, they are the building blocks of dignity and independence. When people lose muscle, they often lose not just strength, but confidence. They become hesitant, fearful of injury, less as willing to engage in life. Protecting muscle protects not only the body, but also the spirit. It keeps you engaged, active, and willing to say yes to experiences. There is also a powerful connection between muscle and the brain. Muscles are not passive tissue. They are endocrine organs that release signaling molecules called myokines. These myokines travel through the bloodstream and communicate with the brain, reducing inflammation and improving cognitive health. This means that by maintaining your muscles, you are also supporting memory, focus, and mood. A strong body sustains a strong mind. When you think of that cup of coffee with collagen, don't just picture stronger legs or arms, picture clearer thoughts, better balance, and a sharper mind carrying you through the years. What makes this practice so compelling is its accessibility. It doesn't require a prescription, it doesn't involve complicated regimens, and it doesn't depend on expensive interventions. It is a simple, enjoyable, and affordable choice that fits seamlessly into life. Coffee is already a beloved ritual for so many people, something they look forward to each morning. By slightly upgrading this ritual, you transform it from a source of comfort and alertness into a tool for longevity. This is not about giving something up, it is about gaining far more than you imagined from what you already do. Picture the difference 5 years from now, 10 years from now. One path is the familiar one, where muscle gradually fades, movements become slower, balance becomes shakier, and life becomes smaller. The other path is the one where you still move confidently, still walk with energy, still rise from a chair with ease. The difference between those two paths can hinge on small decisions repeated over time. A scoop of collagen in coffee may not seem dramatic on its own, but in the same way that a drop of water each day can fill a cup. This daily act fills your future with strength. And remember, muscle is not just about survival. It is about thriving. It is about enjoying life fully, not just